Did your L&D team just blow a fortune on AI licenses while your top talent is browsing LinkedIn because their paycheck doesn't go as far as it used to? Are your managers so happy and fulfilled that their teams are also happy? Or are they so burned out the only thing they are passing on their people is frustration? And is your succession plan for key roles a well thought out strategy, or is it just a prayer that your top expert doesn't retire and take 30 years of knowledge with them? This is a brutal diagnosis of many businesses in 2025. AI was supposed to be the cure-all, and it's become the most expensive band-aid on a compound fracture. In today's extended episode, The Hidden Cost Crisis, we are going deep on why your solved cultural problems are costing you hard cash. I will show you data that proves you are ignoring the two biggest sources of burnout: bad bosses and financial stress, the demographic time bomb. We will analyze why your hire from the market strategy is dead. We will smash together wage pressure and aging society and new generational expectations. The new brutal role of L&D and HR business partners. Stop being a course provider and benefits administrator. It's time to become a business strategist who speaks the language of ROI. So let's go. Alright, let's start with the market's obsession. AI, generative AI, automation, prompting, everyone's talking about it, everyone's buying licenses. But many people forget one fundamental fact. AI automates tasks. Who does the rest of the work? Who manages the process? Who talks to the client? Who builds the strategy? People. And people are on the edge. And it's for two reasons that your L&D and HR departments are systematically ignoring. Let's start with the bosses. A new report from Glassdoor says something that should be obvious, but apparently isn't. Happy managers make for happier teams. This isn't nice to have. It's not some fluffy HR slogan. It's a hard correlation. Manager satisfaction directly translates to higher work-life balance ratings in the team, a better perception of company values, and higher levels of inclusion. Now, take a hard look at your L&D budget. How much are you spending on the latest AI training? And how much are you spending on fundamental leadership training, on how to be a decent, supportive human being? You are teaching them how to prompt ChatGPT while they can't give constructive feedback, they can't run a one-on-one, or they manage by fear. AI won't replace a bad manager. AI will just brutally highlight their incompetence. Because in a world where AI takes the simple tasks, the only value a manager has left is their humanity, empathy, support, and the ability to build culture. But that's only half of the problem. Let's go deeper because this gets worse. A new Voya study is crushing. 63% of employees agree that their financial stability directly impacts their mental health. 63%. People are panicked about money and their jobs. Costs are rising. Inflation is eating their paycheck. Childcare costs are fortune. And what are organizations doing? Organizing another mindfulness webinar? Sending out a meditation newsletter? They don't need meditation. They need financial stability and a sense of security. And you know what's the most absurd part? In the same Voya study, 77% of employees say they will spend more time reviewing their company benefits this year. And at the same time, less than half of them feel confident about how to even enroll in those benefits. Do you see the absurdity? You offer programs to reduce stress, but the process of signing up creates stress. Your internal communication is broken. So, the takeaway for L&D department and HR, brutally simple. Your role isn't just developing skills, it's stabilizing the organizations. Your job is to walk straight into the finance and comms departments and ask, how are we communicating our benefits? How are managers supporting people with financial stress? So, how do we actually reduce this stress, not just put a band-aid on it? In the age of AI, your greatest value is building a human resilience, because a stressed out, poorly managed employee won't be creative or innovative. They will be looking for another job, period. Let's assume you have fixed the culture, your managers are wonderful, and your people are financially secure. Great! Now, a wall is heading towards many companies that they are about to hit. It's called demographics. Your entire current model of talent acquisition is dying. Your favorite strategy? If someone leaves, we will just hire someone better from the market, has just become strategic suicide. Why? Because of two reasons. First, wage pressure. We have low unemployment and persistent inflation. Market analyses are clear. Companies must prepare for wage hikes of 3 to 5% per year. And not as a bonus for outstanding performance. This is the new market standard just to keep the people you have already. And second, demographics. This is a time bomb. Society is aging. Your best experts, the baby boomers, are getting ready to retire. And on the other hand, Generation Z is coming in with completely different expectations about work, development, and flexibility. So you have a triple problem. You can't afford to get into a bidding war for new AI stars from the market because the costs have exploded. Your most experienced people are leaving and taking their knowledge with them. Young people don't want to work in your old model. And what do most companies do? They panic and try to buy talent. They overpay, they get into wage wars, they can't win. That's the strategy for 1 quarter, not for 5 years. The real game is played inside. You must immediately stop thinking of L&D as a course provider and start thinking like an architect of systemic talent management. You need to build internal development paths. You need to launch mentoring programs where your retiring experts pass on their knowledge to younger employees. You need to identify high potential people and invest in them aggressively. Tools can also support you here, where both onboarding, upskilling and reskilling processes will help you manage your teams. For example, LMS platforms that structure your knowledge bases but also streamline evaluations, monitor progress, and manage paths. However, all this needs to be arranged from a bird's eye view of the organization. And this is where we get to the key role that most companies treat like an administrator, the HR business partner. Your HR business partner can no longer be just the person who processes vacation days and guards the paperwork. This has to be your strategic advisor, an analyst, a coach for managers. This is the HR business partner armed with hard data from people analytics who needs to go to the board and say, listen, our time to productivity for new hires is 6 months. That's costing us X millions in lost productivity, but if we invest Y in this mentoring program and rebuild our onboarding, we will cut the time by 3 months. Here is the ROI. Or they come with information about recruitment costs, cost per hire, and how to reduce them, whether through automation, simplification, or having different people handle it. This translates directly into the organization's competitiveness because the money saved can be allocated to its further development. So the takeaway for L&D: stop being reactive. Stop waiting for our managers for kindly ask for some Excel training. You have to be the engine of talent transformation. Your job is to build a talent factory inside the company because buying it from the outside just becomes absurdly expensive and strategically stupid. So, your KPI is not number of training hours. Your KPI is cost to acquire versus cost to develop and depth of the bench in succession planning. Alright, let's put this all together because this is one coherent picture of the new reality. The world of tech has exploded. AI is raising the bar, automating simple tasks and making human skills the only real competitive advantage: creativity, strategy, leadership. But at the same time, we have two massive collisions that you are ignoring. The first one, the cultural collision. You want innovation from people who are financially stressed and fatally mismanaged by leaders who are themselves burned out. And there is another one, the market collision. You want to acquire talent from a market that is an expensive acquisition channel, while your internal knowledge is escaping. L&D and strategic HR are caught in the middle of this hurricane. You are trying to implement futuristic AI tools in organizations that are rooting from the inside, from bad management and stress, and that have no plan for tomorrow. Before we finish, I have 3 questions for you, and I want to see a real brutal discussion in the comments. Look at your L&D budget for this year. What percentage is going to hot AI topics and what percentage is going to absolute fundamentals, training leaders to be human and actually supporting employee well-being? And no, a meditation app doesn't count. How many HR business partners do you have who can have conversations with the board based on the data and ROI? And how many are still seen as the people who handle vacation days? And most important, is your role still a reactive course provider, or are you a strategic talent architect who builds the company's internal strengths because you understand that buying it from the market is over? So, let me know what you think, subscribe, because in a month this landscape will look different again. Thank you for today, see you, and remember, as always, educate yourself technologically.